in 3 cocktails using things that you might have knocking around on the back bar, and answer a couple of questions that we've gotten since last time, including, hey Pooch, if we don't have a full bar set up, what are the kind of staples that we do need? So we'll try and answer some of that, because that seems like a thing to do. Happy Memorial Day, folks. So, coming back at you after a week off. We didn't do one last week, so we're going to try and cram in 3 cocktails and a little question and answer session today. See how that goes.
Brooke says hello.
Hello, Brooke. Is the lovely wife with you?
Yes.
Yay.
And Charity.
And Charity. Excellent. Is Phil working? Who knows? Okay.
You should ask Brooke about them.
So, Brooke, somebody, I don't know who it might have been, said, you need to get a better mic, and suggested that maybe something that pinned to the collar would be a better mic. So I got to ask, is the sound quality any better this week? Because there's mic pinned right here. So we'll see. Hopefully. We keep trying to make this better.
Yes.
Oh, we got a yes. Excellent. All right. Well, you know, we only got a couple of people on, but we might as well go ahead and start, especially since we have the person that asked the question that I was going to try and answer this week, which is Charity, who said, hey, not all of us have full bar setups, but if we were going to start doing cocktails, what would we need? What's the base setup? Okay, well, you're going to need some sort of measuring appliance. I recommend a jigger that's marked on the inside. So here we have a 1 ounce and a 2 ounce side. The 1 ounce side on the inside is marked with a 1/2 ounce and a 3/4 ounce mark, as well as the full 1 ounce. And on the inside here, we have 1 3/4 and 2 ounces. This works really, really well. But another thing that works amazingly well, and you can just keep it in your kitchen if you're not always mixing cocktails, is one of these guys. OXO makes these. They're
Bed
awesome.
Bath and Beyond. Amazon.
They're marked on the inside. I like the metal ones. They don't tend to rub off nearly as quickly as plastic ones. And you can put things like lime and lemon juice in the metal ones and not worry about it etching the plastic. Whereas fresh lime juice will etch the heck out of plastic. This will go everything from a 1/4 ounce up to 2 ounces, measured in 1/4 ounce markings. It also has teaspoons for whatever, occasionally.
That's the one you carry in your travel bar.
It is. That is the one I carry in my travel bar. Okay, so what else do you need?
And show the Leopold because I like that style better.
Okay, so this is the jigger I showed you.
This Japanese.
This is the Leopold jigger, and it is basically the same in the sense that 1 ounce, 2 ounces, and there are markings on the inside here and on the inside here. And this one's actually marked metrically as well as English units. Metrics are on one side, English units are on the other. So you can just flip it back and forth, use it however you want. You have to have something to measure into. Now, there are 2 basic types of drinks that the home bartender is going to be making, unless you're getting way into tiki, in which case you're going to be getting blenders and blender tins and that sort of thing. That's not where most people are. What you need is a Boston shaker of some sort. So Boston shaker comes in 2 pieces. I happen to have a whole bunch of bottom pieces to Boston shakers. I don't know how that happened, but fortunately I have these nifty little plastic tiki cups that sit right in here and make a nice seal. And the nice thing about the plastic is that you can push in the plastic a little bit to break the seal, so you're not trying to do that with metal or glass. Some people use rocks glasses for this, and if you have the right size Boston shaker, the rocks glass just fits in there. I like my double rocks glasses, and I tend to have them for memory's sake, and I just don't want to be shaking with them, so I don't do that. So the other kind of shaker is a 3-piece shaker, and most of your professional bartenders don't use these guys, although they'll use them for martinis for whatever reason. It's tradition. They're 3 pieces in that top piece comes off. It's a built-in strainer here. Bottom piece. So this looks like the bottom of a Boston shaker. You mix your drink in here. Top goes on. Shake. Take the top off. Strain into glass. Like I said, most of your pros use the Boston shaker as opposed to the 3-piece. But really, it's Lovecraft cocktails. How could I resist the shaker? I'm thinking, gotta have that. All right, so you put your cocktail ingredients here that you've measured out with your jigger. You shake them. Now you need to strain it. This is a Hawthorne strainer. Alton Brown, this is a Hawthorne strainer. Alton gets this mixed up with a julep strainer. This just sits right on top, like this. You hold it with one finger, just strain into a glass. Of course you need glasses. What you need for alcohol would be an entirely different episode of Lovecraft cocktails that we will go into at some other time. The second type of glassware that you might need, or mixingware that you might need, is something like a mixing pint. You're like, well, why would I want a mixing pint? And if I don't want to have just a one-purpose thing lying around, what else could I use for a mixing pint? Normally, I have a French press lying down there, and I just take the glass piece out of the French press and I use that. I've moved my French press, so it is no longer there. Keep track of where your barware is. So what do you do with a mixing pint like this? Ice goes in, ingredients go in, or vice versa. Bar spoon. You don't actually need a bar spoon. You can use like chopsticks or any long-handled spoon. Most of your bar spoons, though, are rounded on the stem so that they move easily between the fingers, so that you can just twirl them around like this. Bar spoon is also really nice for getting into really deep jars that you're storing brandied cherries in or something along those lines. So that's basically your primary ingredients. You can use a Hawthorne with these, or you can use the julep strainer that I mentioned earlier. The julep strainer just fits right in, and you just strain this way. So, those are the basics. Some drinks call for a double strainer, and so you can use like a tea strainer and your Hawthorne or your julep strainer. So you do something like this into a glass. That's the basics.
So these things are available on Amazon, at Bed Bath & Beyond, Pampered Chef,
barproducts.com.
barproducts.com, but you have to do a larger order.
They're
So
cheap.
they're available all kinds of places. You have a Rachel.
Oh, excellent. I may knock things over in there. It's all right. So that's kind of the basics of what you would want for a bar setup. Ice machines, that sort of thing, ice crushers. Look, get yourself a towel, put some ice in it, and beat it with a hammer. You get crushed ice. If you're going to be making a lot of crushed ice, get yourself a professional crushed ice maker, because you'll be needing it and your arms will get tired.
Charity says thank you.
All right. So now that we've gotten the basics of, hey, what do I need for making cocktails? Let's make some cocktails. So the first one up is going to use an ingredient that is around on some people's bar shelves. We found this out at while visiting the bar at Vermilion, and I said, hey, I don't recognize that bottle. And Nate, the bartender over there, said, really? You've never had Liquor 43? And promptly made me 2 drinks, and I went, what is this wonderful elixir, and why do I not have it on my bar?
Jolly Bartender.
He is Jolly Bartender on Instagram. So we're going to be using Liquor 43. It's a little citrusy, little spicy. It's just a really nice additive. I wouldn't necessarily drink it straight, although you could over ice. It would be fine. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to make something called an Agricole Guava Cooler. This is out of Martin and Rebecca Cate's book, Smuggler's Cove. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the mixing tin. Bing! That. We are going to take some guava soda. I know. Where are you going to get guava soda? Okay, international markets have guava soda. If you find a source for Bundaberg guava soda, A, buy as much of it as you can, and B, figure out a way to ship it to me, because this stuff is hard to find and really good. So it's also what they use at Smuggler's Cove. Now you start by pouring 2 ounces of this into your glass. Not the mixing tin, into the glass. This is carbonated. Do not put carbonation into your mixing tin. Bad things will happen. At the very least, your bartender is going to have to change his shirt. All right. I'm going to go a little more because I got too much foam there. So here's about 2 ounces of the guava soda. Put that to the side. All right, what's next? 3/4 ounce of lime juice, because well, we're dealing with tiki drinks, so there's always lime juice. Or in most cases, there's some lime juice. In this case, we're going 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, and this is going in our mixing tin. All right, so 3/4 of an ounce. Convenient line, 3/4 of the way up in this glass, in this jigger. 3/4 of an ounce. What's next? 3/4 of an ounce of the liquor 43. So to the same line.
Got a Dan Carey.
Hey Dan. Sorry, no straight rum drinks tonight. 2 ounces of rum Agricole. Now, the way Martin makes this at Smuggler's Cove is they use an aged Clement, or they use an aged rum Agricole. Here I'm going to use a lightly aged rum Agricole, and this is from Clement. I like this one. It's a little lighter, and because it's kind of warm out, we want to do a light and breezy guava cooler. So we're going to go 2 ounces of this. There's 2 ounces there. Set that over here. And then 2 dashes of bitters. Now at Smuggler's Cove, they use Angostura in theirs. I am going to reach over here and use a little tiki bitters from Bittermans. Here, I'll show that. Bittermans. Right. If I can get it open. There we go. 1, 2 dashes. All right, now we're going to lid this up. Put some ice in it. So somewhere around here I have an ice scoop. And here I'm just using regular cubed ice straight from my freezer. Okay, it's not technically straight from my freezer, it's from the freezer into the ice bucket and then into the glass. But for all you pedantic types out there, and I know there are some. All right, so this gets nice and lidded up. Shake it. Nice and frosty there.
Got a Alyssa Gladstone.
Hey, how are you, Alyssa? Right.
Matt McIntosh is in the house.
Matt's here, but Matt, you only drink wine. What's up? All right, so we're going to strain this into the glass that we've already got the 2 ounces of the guava soda in. So that goes in here. And that will mix just fine by pouring in. You don't want to disturb the carbonation too much. So we're going to add another couple of ice cubes to here, just from the ice bucket, straight in.
And we have someone whose birthday it is tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Whose birthday is tomorrow?
Well, she opened a present last night.
Oh, that'd be Miss Jennifer. Oh, who?
Lisa's in Central Texas now.
So here is our Agricole guava cooler. We're going to need to garnish this a little bit. I'm going to garnish it with a little bit of allspice, or not allspice,
Nutmeg.
nutmeg. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. And we're going to stick mint in that. We need a nice straw to go in there, and one guava cooler.
Is that a slip side straw? No, that's an Amazon
That
straw.
is not.
Sorry.
This is an Amazon glass straw.
Sorry.
It's light, it's refreshing. The guava soda really comes through. The Agricole ends a little bit of a grassy note to it. I can understand why Smuggler's Cove uses an aged Agricole, because more of that grassy note would come through. But this is an ideal drink for a summer day where it's nice and warm and hot out. So sun beaming down, wife stealing your cocktail, that sort of thing. Fortunately, we're not only making one cocktail this evening. So we're going to move on and we're going to make the second of our cocktails. So the second cocktail is...
Dan likes your Henry Mancini music.
Of course, yay. Glad, is it an appropriate volume? You can hear the music, but it's not causing problems understanding me. So we'll double check on that. All right, get rid of this mixing tin. And we're back. We're gonna make the Marlin next. And I need another mixing tin. The Marlin has the salient feature of using this stuff. Yeah, I know. You buy some blue curacao because it's pretty, and there's weird shot drinks that use it. And, well, I mean, it's curacao. It's orange flavored, but it's blue, and you never, ever use it again. Okay, well, first of all, any drink that calls for curacao, you can use blue curacao in. It'll get funky in color, but you can. But a lot of the tiki drinks that call specifically for blue curacao are calling for it because of the blue color, because they want that vibrant blue to come through in the cocktail. And that is exactly the case of the Marlin, which was featured at the second summer tiki party that I ever threw.
Sound is good.
So we're going to try this. So the Marlin starts with a ½ ounce of lime juice, shaker, ½ ounce lime juice. By the way, somebody will probably ask, can I substitute that little squirty thing of the little plastic lime or the condensed lime juice? You can. I wouldn't drink it, but you can. So, okay, fine, you can. But really, if you can, fresh lime juice, just squeeze a couple of limes. It'll all be good.
Show your juicer.
Show a juicer. Okay, juicer. Just get yourself one of these, or get on our Christmas list. We gave out some of these last year as a Christmas gift for people, because, well, everybody should have a citrus squeezer, right? Okay, this actually has 2 parts of sour mix in it. So the first part was the lime juice. The second part is going to be some lemon juice, also ½ ounce. You notice me looking over to my left. I have the recipes up because, unlike pros, I don't have everything memorized. When I'm throwing parties, I keep a list right here so I know what goes in what drink. Keeps me honest, makes the drinks consistent, and I usually have like 8 or 10 drinks, usually like 8 drinks that I'm doing, and that's it. And so most of the time I've got those 8 drinks pretty well down. The rules are only there to back me up as the night goes longer and I've had a few more drinks. But a lot of these bars have got 20, 30, 40 drinks on them. There's no way I can memorize those. Leave it up to the pros. They're better at it. Okay, next up, Luxardo. So this is a maraschino liqueur. It is not a liqueur that you can substitute, well, pretty much anything else for. Luxardo is the maraschino liqueur. I've had questions asked whether or not I could substitute like cherry brandy or cherry hearing for this. No, they're very, very different flavors. So we have, what was it, ½ an ounce? It's got to be ½ an ounce. Yep, ½ an ounce of the Luxardo. half an ounce of orgeat. So orgeat, as anyone that has been listening to Lovecraft Cocktails knows, orgeat is essentially an almond simple syrup. And so this is a homemade orgeat because, well, I'm silly that way and I make my own. And this is also going to be a half ounce of orgeat. So, half ounce. Now you can be insane like me and make this straight from the almonds, or you can take shortcuts and do something like an almond milk and use almond milk to make a simple syrup. That'll get you 90% of the way toward a really good orgeat. You can also buy orgeat, and that works out actually pretty well. Some of the Giffords makes a good one, Small Hands makes a good one. B.G. Reynolds makes a good tasting one, but I'm not really keen on the consistency of it. All right, so now the blue curacao goes in. Awesome. You'd think I'd know this one because everything is a half ounce. Should be an easy cocktail. All right, so half ounce of this vibrant radioactive blue color going in. That goes over here. Also rum agricole. So 1 ounce of the rum agricole. Here again, we're using the Clement Blanco. 1 ounce. And for the second, we're using Diplomatico Blanco. So if you really want the color to come through, you want to be using Blancos for this. If you put an aged rum in here that's got some color on it, it's going to change the color of the drink dramatically. All right, so there's 1 ounce of the Diplomatico. We're gonna add some ice to this. There's some ice. Close that up. Now before I shake this up, I'm going to let this dilute just a tad. I'm going to put some crushed ice in here. Here being the glass that I'm going to serve this in. What we're going to do is we're going to strain this into here over the crushed ice.
How much orgeat?
That was half an ounce. Pretty much everything is half an ounce in this. Yeah, everything is half an ounce in this except for the rum, the 2 rums, and each one of the rums is a full ounce. All right, so we're going to lid this up, shake it, shake it. You could ask, hey Pooch, do you have any preference for what glasses you use for what drinks? Why, yes. Yes, I do. This is a Marlin. This drink is called a Marlin. I happen to have, from the old Anthony's Harborside restaurant in San Diego, a Marlin double rocks glass. So of course I'm going to be serving my Marlin in a double rocks glass. That has a Marlin on it. Strain this in. Look at that. Look at that lovely blue color. Now that you could serve at a frat party. All right, what are we going to do for a garnish here? So classic garnish is a couple of bright red maraschino cherries. I don't own any of those. Don't think I ever will again. So here are a couple of brandied cherries, a couple of mint leaves on there. Let's stick that in there. Oh, by the way, so this little cute guy here, this is a little monkey tail skewer that we got courtesy of John Schott over at People's Drug. So,
From a Monkey 47 Tiki event.
Monkey 47 Tiki event, and it came
Second
with a
birthday.
packaged drink called This Drink is Banana, as I recall.
Oh, thank Brooke for doing the recipes as we go along.
That is pretty tasty. Actually, I should know that that's tasty. I served it at a tiki party and I made a lot of them that night. So here we go. 1 bright blue Marlin. Let's set that here. Or actually, I guess what I'm going to do is give that to my wife, who's going to polish that off. which is fine. It's all right. She can polish that off because we're going to do one more drink this evening. We're going to do a Swizzle. I had a Swizzle until I went to New Orleans. We went to Tiki Tolteca the first night we were in New Orleans, and I think I had either a 3 dots and a dash or a jet pilot. 3 dots and a dash, I think, was their special that evening. And I got to talking with the bartender. We bought a commemorative glass because that's what we do. And then he said, "Hey, have you ever had a 151 Swizzle?" And I said, "No, what's a 151 Swizzle?" And I've been in love with the Swizzle ever since. So the Swizzle is an interesting drink. You need either a Collins glass or a highball glass. So here's a highball glass. We're going to fill this about 3/4 of the way with crushed ice and start from there and build the drink in here. Star has graciously brought out the Tiki Tolteca mug that we picked up while we were there. Love this guy. He's so cute. Look at the back end. New Orleans, Louisiana. Nice mug. Good mug.
Got a Dave Heinzen.
Hey, Dave.
And Elisa says that your wife looks so smug when she takes your drinks.
Yeah. Apparently she likes them. What can I say? Okay, so fill this up about 3/4 with crushed ice. That's a little more than 3/4. There we go. We're going to call that 3/4. All right, and we're going to build this in the glass. So we're going to start with some pineapple juice. Now, as you may have noticed earlier on, I'm a fruit juice purist and like my fresh fruit juice. Pineapple is really hard to keep, and it's really hard to get enough pineapple juice out of a single pineapple. So I take a page again from Smuggler's Cove, and I do, when I have fresh pineapple, I mix fresh pineapple juice in with canned pineapple juice. Just make sure you're using unsweetened pineapple juice. And that's what I keep on hand, is a mixture of fresh and canned pineapple juice. All right, so we're going to build this right in here. We've got 1 full ounce of the pineapple juice. One ounce pineapple juice. You'll notice it's a little thicker than, or maybe you noticed, it's a little thicker than the pineapple juice you might get just from the can. We have a fairly nice juicer that you can just pour chunks of fruit in, and it just juices the living daylights out of them. So that's what we use.
And we just upgraded
pineapple.
it.
Yeah, we just. Okay, 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, because it's a tiki drink, so it's got lime juice in it.
So I'm the juicer. Our 300 horsepower juicer died. And so
apparently we've been putting it through a lot of work.
Yeah, and so I found a 600 watt juicer off of Free Cycle. Did a porch pickup. I Venmo'd them. They put it on their porch. I went and picked it up. Works well.
Okay, so next ingredient. I know this one's going to be a little hard for most people to get their hands on. Although
ABC.
If you're in Virginia, Virginia ABC stores carry it. So this is a product of Barbados. It is yet another bottle that is produced by Foursquare Distillery, Richard Seal and Company Limited, John D. Taylor's Velvet Falernum. So this is, how to describe this? It's spices, little nuts infused in a light rum or other, or a neutral grain spirit. It's got a little bit of a spicy smell to it. It's sweet. You can make your own, but I actually fairly well like the Velvet Falernum, so I just use that. So this is 1/2 ounce. And I heard from somewhere that was it Brooke or Andrea that's doing the recipes as we go?
Brooke.
Brooke, thank you very much. All right, so 1/2 ounce of this. Close that up. And then we get weird. So I'm doing a riff off of another Smuggler's Cove recipe. The Smuggler's Cove recipe is the chartreuse swizzle. And the chartreuse swizzle, has 1.5 ounces of green chartreuse in it. Get you a vibrant green drink. I was challenged to use up some of my Galliano. Galliano is another herbal liqueur. In some ways similar to chartreuse, more like the yellow chartreuse, a little more anise flavor to it than either the chartreuse family. So we're going to give the Galliano a try in this, but I'm not going to go a full 1.5 ounces of the Galliano because the Galliano is a lot sweeter than chartreuse. So what we're going to do is a full ounce of the Galliano, and I'm still a little leery that this is going to turn out really sweet. So there's 1 ounce. And then I need a backbone for this. I need something that's got some strength to it. So we're going to do the other 1/2 ounce with a high octane rum. This is the Hamilton 151. It's really good stuff. Hamilton puts out really nice things. This has got some fire to it, but is a really nice flavor as well. And that little bit of the 151 there is going to give this a really nice flavor to it. All right, so I'm building this in the glass. What are we going to do? Just swirl it around? No. Swizzles require swizzle sticks. So this just goes right in. I don't have quite enough ice in here, so I'm going to add a little more because I've been taking my time and it's been melting. So we're going to go stick that in there. There we go. What do you do with this? You just stick it like this. Swirl it around, get down in there, go all the way to the bottom, come up. Do that a couple of times. Just get all nice and mixed. Especially because you've got the high octane 151 in here. You want to get a fairly high level of dilution, otherwise this is going to be undrinkable. All right, add some more crushed ice to finish this off. There we go. I'm going to stick a dehydrated lime wedge in there as a garnish. And
Dave said he would.
mint. Have your wife do it. There's some mint in there. And then one final touch, also one of new acquisitions. So this is an actual little Swizzle drink stirrer, and it's matte black and has a skull on it. Yeah, very, very cool. Also courtesy of People's Drug and John. So that goes in there, and that allows you to stir that up a little bit. Keep it stirred. You'll need a straw. Straw, metal straw, sneaks in there. Bon appetit. Oh yeah, she can't have this one. This one's mine. That's tasty. So there we go. There's another episode of Quarantiki. This is Quarantiki for Memorial Day. Hope you guys all had a good time. Hope got a little education in. I'm here for another couple of moments while I'm clean some things up. Not mess them up, I've already done that. In case there's any questions. Anybody got anything out there?
How much of the Hamilton?
1/2 ounce. So the original drink, the chartreuse drizzle, the chartreuse swizzle, maybe I've had too many already, calls for 1.5 ounces of chartreuse. So I split that, 1 ounce of Galliano, 1/2 ounce of the 151. You could use a different 151. This is a Demerara 151. You could go with the Lemon Heart 151 as well. But I want something that's got some flavor to it, so I would not go with, say, the Bacardi 151, which is very, very clean and is just, it's almost a neutral grain spirit that you're drinking for the Bacardi 151. So Hamilton or the Lemon Heart. Those would be my 2 recommendations for the 151. Again, 1/2 ounce.
So, from the one who does the hunting and gathering.
Do you want to try this?
I do, especially during the quarantine.
She's my hero.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Both of these are available along with many other things because I got 9 bottles at Ace Beverage over by American University
In the district.
in the district. Online ordering. When you get there, you call them up. I opened up the hatchback. They put it in the car and I drove away. No contact pickup.
She did have to pay for it ahead of
I
time.
paid for it online. Ordered online. There were 2 things they didn't have. I emailed them. They ordered them, added them to the online so I could pick them up. So
And we had them 2 days later.
2 days
Yep.
later. So Ace Beverage in the district. I'll put a link in the. That's really yummy.
Yeah, I know. So it's been a successful evening. We'll check, see if there's any more questions, and then we'll call it quits. God, this is really good.
I'm gonna unplug the mic and tour new items.
Tour new items.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Elise wants to know how often we're on.
I try and be on about once a week. I did miss last week, but yeah, I'm going to try to be on once a week or so. Usually on the weekend. Done a couple of times on Monday evening when I've missed on the weekend. But yeah, so weekends or Mondays tend to be when I'm on.
Okay. So we got these 2 new chests for, I'm not sure what decoration, but I couldn't pass them up. Again, another Facebook Marketplace, no contact pickup. I got both of them for $40. And then some of you haven't seen the Tiki collection. So I'll stop since I'm walking by. And the rum collection. But I'm going behind the bar.
Uh-oh. Close the laptop.
And we got a new bar shelf from behind the bar. Got that on Etsy. So Pooch can have kind of some of his taller bottles and the things he wants right on hand. We first got an acrylic one, which is nice, but a lot of the larger bottles don't fit into it. So we got the nice wooden one made up. So this is from Pooch's view. So.
Howdy, howdy.
Gonna step back around, see if there's any more questions, and if not, we'll sign off. Elisa, there's a couple old ones on Facebook, on Lovecraft Cocktails Facebook, if you want to see them.
Yep. There's probably 5 at this point. 5 or 6, something like that.
Brooke, thanks for the ABC link. And thanks again for doing all the recipes.
Cool.
And I think we're going to sign off.
That'll do it. Signing off. Lovecraft Cocktails. Till next time.